Yep. Thank you. Okay. I would I want to start by saying that I'm very sorry for coming late. Thank you, Tessero. Thank you, Mama. Fisher Nina. Thank you, Ben Flay. Thank you. You are all loved. I want to thank you for being patient with me and for waiting for me. I'm so late today, and no, we're marking register. Thank you so much, Binkley. He said we're marking register. Oh God, if this was a school, I would give you an A plus, Binkley, because you're really always early. Hi, ma. So thank you so much. Thank you. I'm trying to test my guest. I think she's been waiting for me. She tested me, and thank you so much for joining. Today's topic, today's topic is very interesting. We are talking about a topic that affects a large population of married couples, and I am so happy to be doing this topic with a woman of God. She's going to be joining us soon. Now, she's a wife and a mom with a lot of kids, and they have a ministry in Lagos as well. And she's also in the ministry of talking to youth and building homes and marriages. She has a lot of experience in this topic, and that's why I'm doing it with her. I had to invite her. Give me a minute. Sorry, a minute. Thank you again for having patience. Ah, I have gentlemen and beautiful ladies on this platform. Thank you for joining. So I had to invite her. I told her, I said, woman of God, this topic is important to me, mental health and marriage, and I would like to really do this topic with you. And she said, you know what? I just tested her this week, and she said, you know what? I'm going to do it with you. Okay, what time? I told her, and she said, okay, I also have my life that I go. I have my life also at 9 p.m., but I can stay at least an hour, 2 hours with you. I said, that'll be awesome. Now, her name is Pastor Mrs. Ifeoma Chigbogwu. Don't blame me if I did not say it very well. That's how much I can pronounce it. And if she comes, okay, she can also pronounce it maybe better than me. Before she joins me, because she's been asking me, have I started? I said, yes, I just started. So I'm waiting for her. Good evening, Mama. God bless you. How are you doing? I'm waiting for her to join me. But before I start, let me introduce the topic because I'd like to say a few things before she joins me. I want to kind of lay some foundation on this topic, mental health and marriage. Today now, by the time I finish talking, I know some men will say I'm biased, and some women might also say I am biased. But remember that I'm not here for any gender. I am here for what God wants me to say, and that is what I am going to say. Thank you from Facebook. God bless you. I cannot give a shout out to everybody on TikTok. It's just going so fast, but God will bless you so much for joining. And on Instagram, No Filter Podcast. I don't want, you see today I will not accept you. I don't want your trouble today. So all of you that I know you have tendencies to do one or two things, I will not accept you people. I will just accept people that are godly, because this is a godly platform, people that know God. That's people that's people I'll accept today. Mental health and marriage. There are 3 key things that I want you to note before you get married. God bless you. 3 key things. It is what it is. There are these 3 key things that I want you to note before you get married. Please, if you don't see these 3 things, I will tell people again, don't get married because of love. Don't get married because of money. Don't get married because the man is tall, like Ben Flader says is 6.7 feet, right? Why won't you accept your audience? They have started. Why won't you accept your audience? Is it by force? Is it your own audience? Yeah. Sima Watsu, Sima CK. Is it your audience? She is my audience that I will not accept now. You started. You just came now. You just started. So, yeah. So there are 3 things I want you to really note before you get married. And please, if you're not satisfied with those 3 things, don't get married to the person, because the person has money or because the person is tall. Because at the end of the day, if you go and get married to that person because of all those things, you'll still be the one that will come and be shouting, mental health, I have mental health, I have mental health issues. So one of those things is, before you get married, make sure that the person you're getting married to have the fear of God. That's number 1. Modern day women say they can't marry broke guys. Mama, this is for your women, not us. Today I will enter all of you before my guest comes. What is the reason for getting married if it's not for money? Yeah, if you get married because of money, and if there's no money now, you go out of the marriage now. That's it. See, you just Obele, you better listen to what I'm saying, because all of you just like to come to this platform and fight. You don't want to listen. You don't want to listen. You don't want to listen. Okay. So make sure you're getting married to somebody that has the fear of God. That's number 1. Anybody that fears God will have wisdom. And remember what the Bible says, that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. You need wisdom to pilot a marriage. You need wisdom to tackle issues in marriage. Now, before I start accepting people, I'm still waiting for the woman of God to come and add me so I can bring her online. So you see why you need a man with the fear of God. Any man that does not fear God, don't get married to him. You see, Emeka came that day and said, are you a Christian? I'm not a practicing Christian. Okay, you're not a practicing Christian. Okay, what are you now? My mother is a pastor. Already, you just know that Emeka now is like a prodigal son. We are trying to bring him back to what God wants him to be. Okay, I think our beloved woman of God is here. Yeah, some of you will hear it today. All these bad husbands and bad wives. Just call me. Oh my God, see my baby girl. Just call me Ada Egodi. God bless you.
Hey, my sis.
Oh,
Woman of
so
God, how
much.
are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much, ma. I'm really happy that you are here. And I would like to express this right now, my condolences to, what's going on now in the family. I saw that you were mourning our beloved legend, Mama Oyeka, that just died, and I saw the relationship you all had and everything. Please, I hope you've gotten healed and you're ready for the session today. May God grant her soul eternal rest in Jesus' name.
Amen.
So thank you so much. And you're looking so beautiful. Oh my God.
Thank you.
And she's so beautiful. And Ma, please, can you just tell us like how many kids you have and how many years you've been married, and a little bit about your ministry, so that all these people here, they will understand, who you are. Maybe they'll use that one to listen, because they don't listen here. They only react. They just pour. They don't want to hear what we're saying. So please introduce yourself so that they can get to know you more. Thank you, Ma.
Okay, thank you. Glory to God.
Hallelujah.
Before I even start, you talked about Onyeka. To get over her, will take a lifetime. She was so close, and we miss her so dearly. All right, my name is Pastor Mrs. Ifeoma Chigbogwu. Okay, and I am married to Pastor Okudili Chigbogwu. So we're both pastors, but we've come a long way. We were bankers first, and then we went into manufacturing, and now we're doing pastoring, okay, with other things we like to do. Like we have an NGO called Rhapsody of Experiences Youth and Women Empowerment Foundation. So that's ROE for short. All right. And then we empower youth and women that are disadvantaged. All right. So we have 4 children. The first one, by the grace of God, will be a medical doctor by November.
Oh my
His grace,
God.
God's grace.
Congratulations.
Yeah, she's almost done.
Wow.
She's almost done. Then the second is a graduate already. That is the physiotherapist. And then I have 2 sons, or we have 2 sons in secondary school. So God has really brought us thus far.
Thank God.
My husband and I do a lot of things together. We have actually, let me even say it here, even though I didn't plan to say it, we have actually both lost spouses. Did you hear that? I was married before. Yes, I was married before. Armed robber shot my husband and he died.
Oh my God.
He was married before. She had diabetic coma and went to be with the Lord as well. And God brought us together after some years. So, like I usually tell people, you know how, yes, it's been a journey. It has been a journey.
I'm not sure anybody. I'm not sure anybody knows. I'm hearing this for the first time.
Yes, you're hearing it for the first time.
Wow.
God has actually taken us through a process. You know, I actually remember the moments of widowhood and all that. It took a lot of believing God for someone who could step up. You know, someone who could step up and be exactly what I wanted. You know, so I went into prayers, serious discussions with God. And today he's been so faithful. In fact, let me tell you something quite interesting. You know, I just had a baby before armed robbers shot my first husband. So the baby was just 2 months. Now, by the time God brought someone else, to be my husband, right? He happens to share the same birthday with that girl. And that is the child that looks like him. Now, he had 3 kids. Okay, remember I said he lost his wife through diabetic coma?
Yes.
Those 3 kids look exactly like me. So we have a blended family that is awesome, beautiful family. You know, and right now it's mommy, 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 daddy, daddy, daddy. You won't even know the difference. So that's a blessing I've really enjoyed from God.
Listening to you, Ma, I can just tell you that I have chills running through my body hearing this revelation for the very first time. And you know, sometimes in life, God just directs us to the right, people. I had other people like, okay, let me bring this person, but I don't know. But first, I like, you know what? Let me talk to Pastor Ifeoma. I know you said that the one time that, oh, come to Nigeria, we're going to host you. I'm like, let me talk to her on this topic, not knowing that you have experience, because there was no way you're going to tell me that you had a 2-month-old and had your husband shot and killed by armed robbers, and you did not go through traumatic events with a 2-month-old.
Did.
How long?
I did.
How long did you wait before you met your husband? Or, you know, how long, as in, were you widowed before you met your husband?
Several years. It was a wilderness experience. I went through a lot. Can I tell you one of the things I went through so you can actually understand? You know, being a church woman from time, I wasn't always a pastor. I became a pastor in 2017, yeah? I wasn't always a pastor, but you know, I was a church person. I was always in church. Now, after this happened, you know, I will go to the same church and I didn't find solace in church. You know why? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. You know how they have groups? You know how they have groups in church?
Yes.
They have groups for married women. They have groups for singles. I will go to church and after service, the pastor would announce, After service, we're going to have married women's meeting. And I will carry my handbag and go and join married women. And they'll say, no, you cannot join us again. You know you are now a widow.
What, in
Eh?
church?
Yes.
That must have been
And they will ask me
depressing.
to leave. Oh,
Wow.
yes. And they will ask me to leave. Then the day that they say that singles will be having meetings, I will now carry my bag again, and I'll go and join singles. Say, hey, madam, you cannot join us. So, hey, this is singles meeting. So, in fact, that was how I was just hovering in church.
Hey, Jesus Christ.
If after service, I saw a man who as much as turned to show some concern. Hey, Sister Ifeoma, how are you doing? How are you coping? You just see the wife quickly come and hold him.
Men do not collect my husband.
Yes, and
My
I will
husband kind of
feel
vibe.
so left out. So to cut a long story short, I had to just go back to the drawing board. I said, God, oh yeah, come, let's have a meeting. And we talked and talked and talked, and I took a piece of paper. That's why I know God is really real. And I wrote down all I wanted. I said enough, because most times I'll be going to church. I'll see families driving past and only me will be in my car going to church. I said, no, God, please, you have to do something about it. And I kept praying, and God actually did something about it. He did not just do something about it. Those 6 qualities I wrote that I wanted in a husband, he gave me. So I'm settled and sorted.
Wow. Wow. As a matter of fact, that's why I said you're the best person for this mental health and marriage, because you were married, a young woman. Her husband got killed, a 2-month-old. Then she was rejected in her church. The married couples in church rejected you. Rejection is also a mental health issue, because you begin to battle rejection. If you're not careful, you get to the point of being bipolar, mood switches, or depressed. So there were so many things you battled in that time in your mind, and you would
Exactly.
think that you would only battle in the house. But then, this was the gathering of so-called Christians. And that's why so many people don't go to church again. I'm sorry to say this. I'm not in support of people who say, you know what, I'm done with the church, or I'm done with God. You can't be done with God. God can use anybody to fight you. You understand? Jesus Christ praised Peter. Just a few minutes later, he said, man did not reveal this to you. It is God that has revealed this to you. And on this rock I shall build my church. So a man that God had revealed to, revealed Jesus to, which is Peter, few moments later, the same person was hearing from the devil and told God, Jesus, that we can avert this thing, come like this, and Jesus still rebuked the same man and said, get behind me, Satan. So when you think that somebody is so perfect, and you think that this person is a pastor and they cannot do certain things, get it off your mind, because they can do even worse. The same way God uses that
Exactly.
person is the same way the devil, if they allow, can use them. And then you cannot say because the devil has used them, therefore you and God now not be friends again. Because mental health, oh my God, I think so many people go to church and get even sicker. This is what I'm going to take from this. Rejection from married women, say be married woman. So it means, did the church have a group of widows, let's say, so that you can find a group at least where you can stay, or they did not have?
There was no group for widows.
So you were just
So
you were not
I
you were
just did
nowhere.
not belong anywhere.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Well, you're a prayerful person, and I just want to thank God for what He did after your struggles with mental health, how you were able to pull through, and how you're able to, be here today and achieve everything. I know the last time you said your kids were in Canada, and you guys, you've traveled, you've been all over the world. So what the devil thought is I'm sure the plans was to just get you 6 feet, get you depressed, think about suicide and just like, I'm nothing. But you were able to pull through. And I'm really going to say this, the church should do better. The church should do better. These days, the church don't even care about people. The church don't care about what people are going through. They just care about themselves and how to. I think the pastor should be more concerned about the character of the people. It's what they see you do that people also do, you know. More concerned about how those subgroups in church pilot their things. But we just thank God for, you know, for everything you've been through and how you're able to pull through. Now, I'm just going to start. I'm sorry, ma. Let me just say, I'm going to start just warning some of you small smoke. I'm seeing your comments now, and I'm seeing somebody that said when they go ever empower men. People we are coming there now. Now we'll talk about those ones. People should just hold on a little for me. I'm going to try to put the topic for today on this platform so that for those of you who want to know the topic, you can know it. I'm going to put it through Transformation World Ministry. And as I put it, I'm also going to pin it right there so that you know it. One of the things that I was telling us with before Mama here speaks the floor and tell us a little bit about mental health and marriage. Topic has changed from marriage with mental health to surviving being a Christian widow. Benfley, respect yourself here. You see what I said? That you people don't listen. Men, and we're going to talk about it today. You people just want to pour out, want to react. You don't listen. She has been through traumatic events. She has been through traumatic events, losing her husband and not belonging anywhere. And that's why she has a lot of experiences about this mental health we're going to talk about today. So she's a good candidate. You this Benfley, God will give you sense in Jesus' name. The next thing I wanted to say before you get married, Ma, I was just trying to throw some foundation on this topic. And I told you that before you get married, if you want to protect your mental health, there are 3 things you want to watch out for. Don't go and get married and say, I love the man, or he has money, or he's tall like Bentley. Don't do it though, because they'll wreck you in that marriage. They'll make you a mess. And so don't do it. These are the things to watch out for. The person you're getting married to, does the person fear God? You understand? A man that fears God will not do certain things. And the Bible says that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. In marriage, you need wisdom to pilot things. In marriage, you need wisdom to be able to react to the person's acts towards you. So lack of wisdom to tackle issues may ruin a marriage. A lot of women and men who are getting married today lack wisdom and understanding. So let's get to the next point, character. Before you get married, please don't look at money, look at the person's character. Sometimes because we say, oh, we are 45. Like, what's the thing? Come and say, if you're 40, sorry for you. There's no sorry for anybody in marriage. It is better to be single than to marry wrong. You understand? And you want to look at that person's character. Does this person have the kind of character that you think you can endure in that marriage? Because in marriage, you endure. Can this person's character sustain the marriage? Does this person have ego issues? Will this person deal with you and still be the victim? You know, there are some people like that. They will do you everything, and they'll still be the one to go and cry and tell somebody that you're the one dealing with them. So is this person the kind of person that deals with you in that marriage and still acts the victim? Look at the character before you get married to anybody. Does this person have trust issues? Because look, the Bible in Micah 7 verses 5 says, trust not your friend or neighbor. That's God. Trust only God. If you're saying, I'm getting married to this man because I trust him, the Bible is saying that trust not your friend or your neighbor. Your husband is your neighbor. Anybody that shares an environment with you is a neighbor. You understand? In that context. Yeah. Say, trust not your friend or your neighbor. Do not put your confidence in your companion. That's what the Bible is saying. Don't put your confidence. Let your confidence be in God. So many mental health issues today is because people now begin to put their confidence in their husband or their wives. And then when they trigger them or do something, you begin to like, okay, I had confidence in you. No, that song, I have confidence in you. Oh, Lord, it's not, oh, my husband. No, don't have confidence. Like, I'm not saying don't have confidence, but I want you to follow me somewhere. Have more confidence in God so you don't get disappointed in the marriage. The Bible says don't put your confidence in your companion, and the Bible says guard the doors of your mouth from who lies in your bosom. The doors of your mouth is going to be an important discussion here too in this topic today, mental health and marriage, because almost all things in this marriage comes from what comes out of your mouth. If your spouse, your husband or your wife gets sick in the marriage, start having mental health disturbances, is your behavior. Today is for the sisterhood. Is your behavior that has caused them to have that mental health issue. Breakable today is not just for the sisterhood, though. Brotherhood has come. It's not just for the sisterhood, though. It's also for the brotherhood. Look, I'm just talking generally, okay? A man's or a woman's behavior can cause you to be depressed. Yeah, but you're responsible to accept it or to reject it. So, Ma, I'm going to just throw the floor on you to just tell us, like in marriage, how can you protect your mental health? I'm going to say it like, I think in marriage, you have to protect that. We just have to protect your mental health because you don't know what this person is coming with. And the kind of men we have today, you're seeing them now, how they are. And the women too we have today, you're seeing them how they are. So if you're married, how can we protect our mental health in that marriage?
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to answer that question, but I want to first say that, you see, when people are about to get married, there are usually signs, telltale signs, that supposed love makes them to ignore. Okay, so for instance, you're dating a man who comfortably slaps his mom and you don't see anything wrong with it. Or at every point in time, he's angry, he's shouting at everyone, but he doesn't shout at you and you're like, oh, it's because he loves me. You know, I'm a special person to him and you really don't mind. Most times when you get married, a lot of things now start surfacing because you saw red flags and you did not mind them. You know, we make excuses for people when we shouldn't be making excuses for them. So I think it's even very important for me to point out that some of the things that happen in marriage also started from courtship, but we did not mind them, okay? All right, if you're married and you need to prioritize your mental health, okay, there are so many ways to do it. You know, when we're talking about this now, like I've seen somebody write, maybe today is for sisterhood. No, this topic is a two-way thing. It can be for the men. It's not a sisterhood thing, okay? So when you're married, I think one of the first things to be mindful of is communication, okay? You should be able to express yourself, whether it is the man or the woman. You should be able to express yourself, express your feelings without any fear of judgment or intimidation. You know, it's very important to be able to express yourself. Now, in marriage also, make sure that you don't take undue pressure. You know, don't allow either party to download pressure on the other person. If that is happening, you need to quickly arrest it. You need to quickly address it. You need to quickly discuss it. Okay, so, and then make sure that your value is appreciated. You know, because if your value is appreciated, you know, you won't be feeling anxiety or depression or anything.
Continue, Ma,
So,
please. I'm sorry,
yes,
just continue. I want to get a pen because what you're saying is very important. I want to write it down so I can be able
yes.
to continue. I'm listening. I just want to get a pen. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So avoid pressure, ensure that you're being appreciated. Do not have too much expectations in marriage. You know, people get disappointed when they are actually expecting so much. And then when the expectations do not materialize, they get disappointed. All right. So in marriage, it's good to know who you are married to. I usually joke about it and I say, every woman sabi how then they marry their husband. Every husband sabi how then they marry their wife. You know why? Because when you get into that marriage, you have to put your eye down and study this person that you're married to. Study the person. Know what works for the person and what does not work. Because this mental health issue, most of the time, somebody is telling you, for instance, I don't like this. I don't want this. And then you're still downloading and then you're still downloading. And then you start having the outburst and so on and so forth. Find out what works for people so you can respect their boundaries. All right? And then also know how to talk, how to present your matter. For instance, if somebody is showing behaviors that you're not comfortable with, you should be able to find how to talk the person into opening up to tell you what it is that is bothering that person. Then you will know whether the person needs therapy, whether the person needs counseling, or whether the person needs treatment. Okay? You know, there are just so many things. This marriage is a whole 9 yards. But to preserve your mental health, to make it a point of priority, there are just things you have to do. That home, that's your home, has to be a loving, supportive environment. You know, if he has to take you putting scented candles, you know, for everywhere to be smelling fresh after cleaning it is clean, just do it, because all of these things enhance mental stability. All right. Everywhere should be loving, supportive, and comfortable. And then again, whether you're the husband or the wife, ensure that you practice empathy and kindness. Just be a very empathetic, understanding, and kind person. It helps. I've talked about boundaries. You know, in that same space of boundaries, ensure that both of you have your personal care. You know that you have time and space for yourselves outside of marriage. You know, doing things that you like doing, like hobbies and so on and so forth, or learning new skills, so that you can maintain healthy boundaries. And then again, I think things like exercise, things like medication when the other person has any issue, and meditation when there is no issue. You know, you have meditation, you have medication. They're very important. Because medication and is not taking it, it's an issue also. Then try as much as possible to stay connected. And a lot of things are involved in that connectivity. I'll give an example here. If you are married and you do not have intimacy in 2 weeks, there's a problem. Except one of you is fasting or somebody is not feeling very well. You know, you have to always stay connected for that affection to blossom, you know, and you have to maintain shared activities. There are so many things. I'm just trying to remember a lot. And then sometimes it's good for couples to have therapy together and then monitor yourselves. If you know that thing that triggers each of you, don't cross the limit so that you won't have stressors. Okay? Maintain healthy lifestyle. Eat right, sleep right. And when I mean sleep right, It's not just enough to get the normal hours of sleep. You know, make sure that the atmosphere and the environment where you're sleeping is conducive so that you can have good rest. You know how scripture says good success? We also have good rest. All right? And then celebrate yourselves. Celebrate yourselves and stay informed on things that concern both of you so that everything about you will be a win-win situation, so that, like, we'll always say, last, both of you will enjoy your marriage and not endure it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. You've spoken very brilliantly, and you see all these men here. It's only Jesus. One day, because of people, I will invite Jesus. Jesus will come and talk to you people. The people will just have some sense and just change. Because while you were talking, with every important topic you points you made, which I'm gonna talk on and ask some questions with someone live. Will this advice help someone live forever? Yeah, I was seeing some people also reacting, and when I said, "How do you protect your mental health?" No Filter podcast said, "Fear women for 2 hours every day." That's how No Filter podcast. That is not. We need to ask her questions. Yeah, I'm going to accept people now. If you have question on the you can put your question. If you have questions, you can ask on the platform. I'm going to accept it. Then Unbreakable, I'm going to accept you. Don't request again so that it doesn't say you cannot. You've exceeded your your time to request. I just want her to delve into the topic a little bit before I can bring somebody in, maybe bring you in, because you now you have mental health issues. So I know the direction you'll be coming from. So let me let me speak to somebody that is very okay. I know it's very okay. You're not too okay. So let me speak to somebody that's very okay before I start bringing people in. I beg you in the name of God. I want her to exhaust this topic. Then Super Touch, or whatever that your name is, he said that when expressing yourself, do not pass boundaries. You see that that Super Touch should be an abuser. He said when you're expressing yourself, even if I do something wrong, you should not pass boundaries. You see yourself. I'm just reacting to you people's this thing. And he also said that don't hold something too tight. Hold it loosely, so if it's too much, you could just throw them. Do you agree with that, that your husband or your wife should not be held too tight in marriage? Just hold it a little so you can dump it. Is that part of the way to say you're protecting your mind in marriage?
You want me to answer the question,
yeah,
right?
Please. Yeah.
Okay, whether
I want
you
to react to
should
what he said.
hold your husband or wife so tightly.
No, don't hold it tightly. Just it's saying if you drop them easily. I saw the comment section there.
No. Don't drop the person easily, but hold the person. Okay? Not so tight. That's why I said that in marriage, remember, you're an individual. So yes, you're married, but you should still have your own space, your own boundaries, so you can do your own things. That you're married does not mean you cannot hang out with the boys. But I don't mean the bad hangout of going to, drink and do the bad things. But you can hang out and play tennis. You can hang out for Bible study and so on and so forth. You can go and watch a movie with the guys. You don't always have to go with your wife. It's good to have space. Otherwise, what will happen is that both of you will choke yourselves. And, it's not nice. So have some space so that when you come back together, it will be sweeter. But don't drop the person. Dropping the person sounds like you're already tired of the marriage and you want to take a walk. No, that's not what I want to communicate.
All right, thank you so much, Mara. And before I go to the next question, I was saying that the 3 things I want you to watch out for before you get married is the person's fear of God, because this will help protect your mental health, which is what we're talking. You see this mental health, because of you people in this place, I will do it for one month. Every week is mental health until I'm sure that some of your own mental health are corrected. So this thing will be like a therapy. This topic every week is what we'll be doing. We'll touch every side of it. But before we can exhaust today, I said 3 things you watch out: the fear of God, the person's character, because most marriages will crash, not because the demon was involved, but because the person you were married to, their character was so terrible. So some marriages can crash. It's not like demons. No, it's you, your character, the way you react to things, what you did to your spouse, actually, crashed the marriage. Thank you, Becca. God bless you. Tired. Anyways, if you do this one month, we will have mental. If I do this topic for 1 month, they will have mental health. Oh, no. If I do it for 1 month, I'll help. I'll bring you guys to sanity, because now my head don't just correct for this place. So we'll do it for 1 month. We'll make sure that we've entered into so many things in this topic, and you at least you start reasoning well, because right now I don't understand the way you move. No. And also the last one is, does this person have somebody they're listening to? Yes. Your husband, your wife must have somebody they're listening to, or the respect that can actually tell them, sit down, let's talk. And they can sit down and talk. You understand? It's not somebody that goes.
I think there's an issue with the network.
Oh, with your network? I
can't hear you again.
Oh, you can not? Oh my God. Are you guys, I hope you guys are hearing me on the background. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Ma?
The network is fluctuating.
Okay. Oh yeah, I think somebody told me that the network in Nigeria those days is bad because of the the whole protest going on. But
yes, but it looks like it's your own that is fluctuating, because the down one is stable. Check.
Are you serious?
Yes. Okay. Just check. It keeps rolling.
Are you serious? Oh, mine over here.
Yeah. It's getting better now, I guess.
Is it getting better?
Okay.
Is it better a little?
Started rolling again. It's better, but it rolled. Okay, I think it's good now.
Okay, yeah, you've been audible. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So yeah, so that's one of the things. And I'm going to delve into something. If you talk about your wife or your husband to people that cannot help the situation, it's a gossip. If you keep telling people about your husband or your wife and you don't want them to confront them or fix it, it's gossip. Those affect people negatively, because if your wife hears it or your husband hears it, it can affect them mentally. And you don't want to live with a spouse that think they are not safe with you. Okay. Now, today is not about me. It's about our pastor here. Before she leaves, I have another question I would like to ask you, Ma. What are the common mental health issues that affects marriages and that can affect marriage? Common mental health issues, and how are they related to the marriage? Because I don't want to talk about mental health issues, because people can have their mental health issue, depression, or something they are fighting outside, but something we think that emanated from a marriage. What are those common mental health issues that wives develop, husbands develop in the marriage that is related to the marriage? Meaning it could have been avoided if we did better.
Thank you. There are actually a lot. There are actually a lot. We have depression, we have anxiety disorder, we have bipolar disorder, we have post-traumatic stress disorder, substance abuse, then the personality disorders, the obsessive compulsive disorder. Some people have eating disorder. Some people have what we call schizophrenia. So they're just a whole lot. But you see, all of these things are interrelated. Okay. Because sometimes marriage pressures bring them on. Some people are in marriage, they don't feel valued. They don't feel appreciated. They don't feel wanted. They don't feel loved. Some people are in marriage, they feel that they're carrying a lot of load. You know, even something as little as having children can actually affect somebody's mental health. You know, because when the children come, you're coping with a lot of things, you know, and it's not easy, and you don't even know that person's mental stability before and what it is the person can take on. Usually, I actually advise that before people get married, they should go for mental evaluations.
Good.
It's not everybody that is normal. Forget that these clothes,
Exactly.
forget that clothes, they cover body. Clothes, they cover body.
Yes.
They're not the right time for
yes,
faith.
you're
So,
right. You're right.
in fact, before I proceed, let me share some short stories with you. You know that period that I was widowed, right?
Yes.
I had suitors coming. Okay. There was one that came. You know, in a day, he would have called me 1 million times. I'm exaggerating, of course, but you know what I mean. You know, maybe he would have called like 5 or 6 or 10 times. You know what I mean? Now,
Yes.
by the time he called for some days, he didn't call again. And then look, I was curious. And I said, let me call and know how he's doing. And then I now called and said, how have you been? He said, that he has something to tell me. Oh. He said he told his mom that he was trying to date a widow and that his mom fell ill. Now, I'm telling this story now and I'm laughing because whether it was true or not, I don't know. But I think there was definitely something that was not balanced about his mental health. And I didn't know. He said that, do I know that his mom was on admission in the hospital just because he was seeing someone who was married before?
Wow.
That it landed his mom that the mom said he should choose between her or me. Hey, that was the first story. I told you I'll tell you 3 short stories. Then the second one was a guy who flew from overseas to my country to see me. If you see this guy, yeah, hey, he was handsome, tall, elegant, broad-chested, heavy-shouldered, backpacks. He had them, whatever. So before he came, I had told all my friends that, okay, in my office, my friends, my colleagues, I told them that somebody was coming, this one, that one. So they were looking forward to meeting him. Now, he landed.
Okay,
Yes, he landed and checked into a hotel. And we were supposed to see the next day. So I was busy making lunch because he was supposed to come and see me. So I was not making lunch happily. And then he came. After all the greetings and everything, he sat down. The next thing I heard was somebody shouting, where am I? Where am I?
Jesus Christ.
I said,
oh my God.
Who are you? Who are you? He was just speaking one phoneme that I don't even understand. Who are you? Where am I? Oh my God. Do you know that I'm a citizen of so and so? Can somebody call the embassy? I've seen something in my life. Can somebody call the embassy and tell them that their citizen is in a place he doesn't know? Oh my goodness. He ran out on the street. He ran out on my street and he was shouting that he's a citizen of, he was calling the country. In fact, as far as he was concerned, that was the best country in the world. Oh, they need to get me to the embassy right now. My dear, that was how I said knew him. That same situation that I have at hand, what happened? And lo and behold, a family member of his now said, oh dear, that he actually had bipolar and traveled to come and see me without his medication.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And you know, for bipolar situation, you always have 2 extremes. you're either at one extreme or the other.
Or the other extreme, yes.
Yes. So he didn't take his medication, and that was it. It was at that street that he stood and was shouting. And somebody that knew him, that I called, now sent an Uber. And then the driver of the Uber and the one other person had to bundle him into the Uber and take him away. That was how that visit ended.
Wow. God.
You know, things happen. I'm telling you the truth. Things happen. Then the third one. The third one, over lunch, on a lunch date, we were now talking. And he said, do you know that if we get married and have children, our children will have to answer names from my place? And then, you know, casually, I just said, not just names from your place. They will also have, because me, I'm a very proud Igbo woman, very happy. So I said, they will also have Igbo names. He said, no way. That he can't stand Igbos, though. And I was wondering, you cannot be coming to have a relationship and you're sounding like this. That was not all. He said, and that when he has children, that once the children get to 7 years, that he will introduce them into intimacy. And I said, why? He said, so that he will ensure that they are straight because of the things happening in the world now.
Oh,
my dear.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Yeah. This person that I'm telling you was a Christian. I don't know about now because I don't know where he is. He was a Christian and he was sounding like this. You know, it takes the grace of God to avoid anyone with mental issues, whether the issue started before marriage or the issue started in the marriage. It's actually the grace of God. Because you can even be married to a man or a woman of God, and the issues will start. Let's face it now, we have scriptures. We have stories of King Saul. You remember the story of King Saul? You know, how he displayed all those, his tendencies of on and off. We have stories of Nebuchadnezzar. We have stories of Elijah. We have stories of David. You see, David experienced frequent anxieties, frequent anguish and despair, you know, and those anxieties and despair that he was feeling, he used them for the Psalms. You understand? And then when you see that men of God have gone through this path, you will know that it's not a new thing. Was it not Elijah, after having confrontation with, you know, the prophets of Baal, that ran and went and started saying God should take his life? You know? And then it was only when David sang that sanity returned to Saul. You remember all of these stories. Even Nebuchadnezzar lived like an animal, you know, until he acknowledged God's sovereignty. So why am I saying all of these things? Even when it is a man of God and a woman of God, mental health issues can come up. They can come up based on any reason whatsoever. And when they come, they affect the relationship. If it's depression, for instance, somebody who is depressed will always have this withdrawal syndrome. You know, somebody who is depressed will not be interacting with you, will not be talking with you. It will affect intimacy. And let me tell you, once intimacy is affected in marriage, a whole lot is affected. Okay, and then you have some people, their own mental health comes through anxiety disorders. Any small thing, they're afraid. Any small thing, they're anxious. You know, every time. How can that relationship, whether it is courtship or marriage, how can it be balanced? When one person is always anxious, you know, then sometimes there's always increased tension. You can now imagine with the economic situation worldwide right now, you know, You can imagine with the economic situation, then you already have heightened tension in your house. There will always be conflicts. Then for some people, they have mood swings. You know, you smile 1 second, you're upset the next second. That can adversely affect marriage, you know. And then some people have had experiences in their lives that have made them go through trauma. And then they are now having PSTD, you know. And when they have all these things, sometimes they'll just remember something they've tried to forget. And it affects their inability to trust people because they always have these flashbacks. They remember one thing or the other. Some people, in order to dull some pressures, they start taking substance. Now, when somebody is taking substance, their finances are affected. And when somebody's finances are affected, it's another strain on its own on the marriage. You know, some people have lost jobs in order to numb the feeling that they feel of inadequacy. They start taking substances. So whether they even take the substance or they don't take the substance, you know, it still affects mental health because somebody who cannot sustain his home anymore feels inadequate. And that on its own brings about a lot of things. You know, then some people just have personality disorders. That's why I said it's really a lot. Some people have personality disorders, you know, these people that like to manipulate. They say they're narcissists, you know, and all that and all that. So I don't know if I have covered the area you want me to cover.
Yeah.
If there's anywhere specifically you want me to talk on, then let me know.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just trying to react to a comment that I saw. Yeah, mental health is different from mental issues, but if this mental health is not handled, it can lead to, oh no, mental health, you were saying mental health and illness. Yeah. Now, when you're talking about an illness, illness is now a diagnosis that a doctor says that this is it. But mental health is where you can have the symptoms of that diagnosis that the doctor has diagnosed. You understand? And
Exactly.
so I want you guys to understand something, okay? There are some people that are mad, but they have not been diagnosed to be mad. But it's not like they are not mad. You have to be mad first to be diagnosed, right? And some of these mental health imbalances people are having in marriages can lead to those illnesses. That's why we have to talk about it now. So because somebody is extremely sad in the house, don't talk to anybody, or having anxiety, it does not mean because they've not diagnosed it, the person does not have it. It's a symptom, they're having it. All you just need to do is that a doctor now diagnoses it and say, okay, oh, you have this illness. So that is when it's now an illness. So please, I want you guys to follow us with an open mind so you can understand these things. We want to prevent or want to help people do better, you know, or live better in marriage. So you don't go into the marriage sane and you come out mad. You don't go into the marriage sane. You were this loving personality, this romantic guy, this romantic woman, this guy who could go heaven and down to earth for a woman. And then you're coming out now, you're saying, who love help? If I love, make I know why. Or I can never love again. These are some imbalances because it's not supposed to be so. You've just been treated bad in one marriage or one relationship, and now it has modified your life. It has modified the decisions you make in life. It has modified what is supposed to be a normal physiological thing in your life on how God, created you. So let's take it very seriously so that we can learn from those things. I know so many men here now, they are causing their, so if you want to talk about people who cause people depression, so many men have caused more women depression. I know that they will shout now in this thing that I've said. You understand? So you guys should learn. And so many women too have caused so many men fear and anxiety. Okay? Pastor said something. Now, I just want to say something. I know I've not really had time to give you guys what I've really put down. I pray that next week we'll see halftime or after she leaves. But our mouth has a lot of things to do, with how people live their lives. Your mouth can shape somebody's life, or it can push them far away. Jezebel, being a woman that has killed so many prophets, she's a dangerous woman. Okay, she was somebody that wants to protect her husband and his authority. She has killed so many prophets. Now, let me tell you, if Jezebel wanted to kill Elijah, she would not send a message. She would kill him. But just the mouth, the threats. So many people now, your husband has run away because of your threats or your words. Just the threats. And say, go and tell him, tomorrow I'll kill him. The man, Elijah, ran. He became depressed, went and told God to kill me. So the things we do can affect how other people make their decisions in life and how they live. So I want to ask, based on what you have just said, you said in marriage, some people feel devalued. Which gender devalues the other gender the more? And how can this other gender that is more devalued help their values?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. You said someone was talking about the diagnosed ailment and the one that wasn't diagnosed. I think the major difference there is how prolonged it lasts. And if there is intervention early, okay? So you see, and then I'm now going to answer your question about the devaluing. It can actually be both ways. It can be anybody. Let me give you an example of a common mental issue. An example of a common mental issue is OCD. You know, this obsessive compulsive disorder, okay? So when you have OCD, normally everything looks normal, but you'll be having compulsive behavior. Let me say your spouse can drink water with this cup now and drop it, and immediately you will take it and keep it in a position that you think is proper. Somebody can open the fridge and you look for, a cloth and clean the person's hand and tell the person that it's not clean. Your spouse wants to relax and pulls his or her shoes, and you take it and go and keep it in the appropriate place. Now, this is not madness of somebody pulling cloths, but it's some sort of disorder. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Do you understand? It will definitely make the other person very uncomfortable, and it will affect the stability of that union. Yes. So these are some of the issues, and it's not a gender thing. It's not a gender thing because so many people, okay, and I'll go on to tell you. Another thing that happens in marriage is abuse. Abuse, all forms of abuse. It can be emotional, it can be physical, it can be psychological. One person is always devaluing the other person, talking down on the other person, saying things that are not nice, sometimes trying to control or manipulate that person. Okay, this can lead to the person on the receiving side feeling a sense of hopelessness or helplessness, or a sense of, loss of esteem and anxiety. So either way, with all that I have mentioned, whether it is any form of disorder, it will definitely affect marriage.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I asked a question again. Thank you for really clarifying that, so that they can understand, because you're building a very beautiful, solid foundation on this topic. So that even if I want to continue it, I've told them for 1 week now, this topic will they talk. I was talking about the value, because one of the issues I know that is present in marriage is the value in marriage, where the spouse think, you know what, I'm doing this, and you're not even saying it. and you devalue or, trash my effort or make me feel I'm not good enough or, So my question is, between those genders, which gender do you think devalues the other gender the more in marriage? Do you think the man devalues the woman the more in marriage, or the woman devalues the man more in marriage?
I love to see things from both sides. Because if you have a situation where your husband was working before and earning money and taking care of the household, and all of a sudden he's lost the job and he cannot afford to fend for his family again, the woman will no longer see him as the king he's supposed to be. The value takes place. Okay?
Okay.
If you are a man, on the other hand, and you start having trust issues where your wife is, if you suddenly feel that your wife that has just got employed in an oil company or, one blue chip company suddenly starts behaving in a way that you don't understand, and you start feeling that, oh, she's now having something to do with her MD, and so on and so forth, the value happens in your eyes because the woman has lost virtue before you.
Yes.
The value happens. So it can be anyone. And how they now put it out is the issue. How they put it out is the issue. You are talking down on your wife because of some perceived inconsistencies and trust issues, or you're talking down on your husband, who is supposed to be your king and your Lord. I call my husband king. I call my husband Lord. If there's any situation that would make me not to see him in that position again, the value has taken place. So that is what I am trying to explain.
Can there be a situation where a man will no longer see the husband as a king and lord?
A man or a woman, you mean?
Can there be a situation in a marriage where initially you
Yeah.
saw the man as king and as lord?
Yes. Yes.
And loved the man and respected him? Can there
Yes.
be situations in marriage where you can no longer see the man as king or as lord?
Yes.
And what are those situations?
There are two basic situations. There are two basic situations that are major. There are others, but I'll just talk on these two. When the man no longer has what makes him, the head of the family.
Okay.
I'm talking about financially.
Okay.
And the second one is when he cannot fulfill his intimate duties. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Those two are the basic things. When for some reason the man can no longer fulfill his intimate duties, or he can no longer fend for his own. Those are the two major reasons why a woman would look down on her husband.
Oh, okay. Man, brotherhood. You have heard this one.
Ma'am, are you telling me?
Wait, hold on. Unbreakable.
I don't
Wait
agree
first.
with that. I don't
Wait,
agree.
wait. I'll ask you to ask our question. Wait, I've been seeing, because I don't want them to now say you cannot add me again. That's why I had to accept you. I didn't want to even accept anybody now until we're done. But let me just ask her, because I'm trying to establish something. So, in marriage, the man owes the woman the duty of making sure he satisfies her in bed.
Yes.
To retain his lordship.
Yes.
And he also owes the woman the duty of providing for the home.
Yes.
To be the Lord. And in this circumstance, and I'm very keen to what you said, you did not say when the man is cheating. So even when even when there's an infidelity issue in the home,
yes,
that should not devalue the man's throne, right?
No.
Okay, good. So, infidelity, I hope that you people can hear it. She said there are two things that can devalue the man's crown as your Lord, and that is, he cannot provide for you and he cannot satisfy you in bed. But if you have infidelity issue, even if though he has a girlfriend outside or a girlfriend is cheating on you, he still remains your Lord, and it does not devalue him. Oh. Are you guys learning from what you're saying? All right. Do you have something to say again, Ma?
I noticed that somebody is shaking his head and saying he doesn't agree with me. Please bring him on. Let me hear his opinion.
Good afternoon. Let me first of all say good afternoon.
Yes, I can hear you.
There were certain things you said that actually triggered me to come up. And I always have a problem with women doing this on Mama's platform by using men and scenarios of abusive men as an excuse or an example. I don't like that factor. It's not all men that are abusive. There are more abusive
sorry, I
women.
can't hear you. Could you? Sorry.
Hear me now?
I need to hear what you're saying.
Can you hear
Take
me
it
now?
easy, yeah. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
What
I can hear you now.
Was I do not like the factor that most women come up to Mama's panel and use abusive men as reference or example. I don't like that. It's kind of like a stigmatization.
Use abusive men as reference or example. Okay, yes, I hear you.
Which you did as an opening topic. I don't like it. And you're not the only person that always does that. Another lady does it. But I'm going to put that out there because there are more abusive women than men. Okay?
So now have you stigmatized the women?
I'm sorry to say so you didn't
have stigmatized the women, right? Are you happy now?
Can I say something? That shows you did not listen to me.
I did
you did not
hear
listen.
You, Ma.
No, you did not listen to me. No, I take exception to that.
Yes,
can I tell you something?
No,
on this program, I have refused to be gender. I've refused to be gender-sided.
Yes, Ma. Oh, I'm gender-sided. Believe me.
No, I'm not gender-sided. So you have the wrong person. You didn't hear me because all through my statements, I have told her that I am not taking sides with any gender. There is both ways. So if you say you heard me talking about abusive men, it wasn't me you heard. I'm sorry. It wasn't me.
I think I could recap the statement you made.
Okay.
The example you made was when Mama asked about mental health scenarios, you said people avoid red flags. As a married couple, if you see the woman if you see the father or the man slapping his mother, and you think that is okay, that's not a right example to use. You made it gender.
Okay, can I?
Hold on. You said you didn't make any gender statement, but you made it gender.
No. Let me explain where you mixed it up.
It's okay.
Unbreakable.
Okay.
Calm
listen
down.
To me. It's
Calm
okay.
down.
I'm just.
Do you know why I will listen to you, Unbreakable? Because when you came here, you've already told us that you were gender-sided. And because of that, you lack the credibility to have the arguments.
Mama,
because if you're gender-sided, we cannot have a good argument now.
Mama, to be honest, I'm gender-sided because I'm saying it openly. Some people are gender-sided and they're not saying it openly, which is bad. Most women.
But hold on. If I want to get married and my husband slaps my mother, I cannot get married to that person because he will slap his mother. I won't get married. And if you're getting married and the woman can slap her mother,
that isn't the point I'm making.
The
point
woman of God.
That shouldn't have been an example to use.
Can I say something?
An abusive person.
Okay, how, Mama? Let me ask you, what example should she have used?
What she should have done was, if the person you are getting married to have these tendencies of abuse, such as abusive of family members, spouse, either both parties, you should avoid that person. She did not.
Hold on again. Let me ask you now. So when you now came,
yes, ma'am.
Why did you say that women are more abusive? Why didn't you say that both genders
First off,
are
I'm
abusive?
admitting the fact that I'm gender-sided, and I'm going to explain why women.
So you don't have the right to tell her not to be gender-sided if you want.
Let me come in, and this is understandable that women undergo abuse.
Interesting.
I agree, but how many men wake up every day just assaulting their wives left and right?
Unbreakable, who abuses each other the more in
the
marriage?
Women.
How?
The women. Let me explain. Men show abuse by physical strength. Women show abuse by emotional manipulation. Women
So
are very
emotional
emotionally.
manipulation should be
Women
reacted by physical strength.
Yes, a man
Why?
shows a man shows abuse by physical strength, by assaulting the woman. Women show abuse because they lack physical strength. They show abuse by emotional manipulation, by emotionally manipulating situations, by acting like the victim. Meanwhile, they are the abuser, by creating fake scenarios like they are being abused, but meanwhile they are the one doing the abusing, and it happens often in marriages.
So you are in support that if a woman emotionally manipulates a scenario, the man should use physical strength to
No,
react.
the man should leave.
So, but you just said that men show this thing by physical strength.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you in support of
We're talking
physical
about
strength?
the abuse, right? We're talking. You asked me a question: who abused the most? Is it the women or the men? Honestly, it is the women that is the abusers the most in this present generation.
So how did you come to that conclusion?
Because I have given you scenarios, I have given you information, I have given you data.
From where? From what data analysis now?
I told you, I asked you a question. I came up to this platform and I said, when you dial 911 as a woman and say your husband is shouting, if you remember that topic. Now, women, mostly women abroad, for example, they end up using the government system. They end up using authorities over their spouse. They end up using their gender, their feminine gender, to manipulate scenarios, which will lock the man up. And I have been a victim of that. Understand? I have been a victim of that. Women manipulate more. They abuse their spouse more. They understand the power they control. They give men, they go out and sleep with other men and bring that man's kids for the man to train, convincing that man that that is his kids. That is the highest of manipulation and abuse.
So
men don't
do.
A woman will go and have a baby out there for somebody else and bring it for the man to train. A woman will know she's not in love with you, but marry you just for the benefits of that marriage. It might be green card, it might be visa, it might be monumentary thing. These are the abuse that we're talking about. That is why women abuse more than men. If it's a lie, prove me wrong.
So you came to this platform now as brotherhood to come and support the men.
No, I'm not
a fair discussion that we're trying to help people. Okay, so how can we help you now? You know, before I accepted, I know that you're not okay, right?
Mama,
I thought that you have mental health issues, right?
The truth. Because I listened to her all this time. When you asked Mama a question, you said, who abuses the most? She deflected. She did not answer that question directly. That's what, because she knows the truth. She knows the power that the society has given women. She understands the gender. Even female cannot tolerate another female.
I have a question to ask you before you go, Unbreakable.
Yes, ma.
Do you or do you not have mental health disturbances?
Let me be honest, Mama. Nobody will admit that they have mental health disturbance. Even for a person, if you Google what a mental health is, if you get angry, you have a problem. If you're angry, you have a problem. If you eat too much, you have a problem. If you have too much sex, you have a problem. It's a mental health disorder. Every individual, in one way or another, have a mental health disorder. If you
have, Abi?
Me?
Yes.
I don't have. I don't have. I'm just living life. I'm just living life. Eh?
Oh, but you say every person have, so but you don't have.
I don't have. How can I come on social media and declare myself insane now? That is actually insane.
But you don't say that everybody has a mental health issue.
I'm just putting this out there,
and you say you don't have, so you're the only sane man in the world.
Well, in my own reality, I am sane. You understand?
It means there's something wrong with you then. As you have just said it now.
Mama, every individual has something going on.
In the comment section, they say you have. Everybody say you have. Yes.
It is their opinion. It is their
and you definitely have.
Opinion.
Mama, no Fine, you can say don't come crazy finish now. Don't they laugh?
Mama,
Just don't mind him.
I just
Just
answer her
let Mama talk.
question.
Yes, but today is not your turn. Just don't find trouble here. Don't find trouble.
Yes,
I will not accept
mama.
you.
But
Just
let her
keep
be
quiet now.
honest.
Let her talk.
Let her be
You
very plain
started.
now. She's not, Mama, prophetess is
Okay.
not being plain.
Stop. Mama talk. I
Woman
bet. Don't
of
mind
God.
him. Oh. Allow
Woman of
him. Don't mind
God,
him.
I listen to him and I understand where he's coming from. You know what?
I know.
He wants me to be him. And unfortunately, I can never be him. You and I cannot have the same opinion. You know why? We're not the same people. You are you, and I am me. I respect your opinion, so please respect mine. Okay?
Okay. That's
So
fine.
what we are saying here, there is no time that a question can be asked, and everybody in the exam hall will write the same thing. Even if you're writing about the same dog, it cannot be word to word, okay? So fine, you believe that women are problematic and so on and so forth. It's based on the experiences you have had. I have had different experiences, so I'm not going to label it women or men. I'm going to be very neutral here, especially because I am a pastor. I'm a pastor. I'm not going to be taking sides. I'm not a gender person. So I've listened to you. I understand you. I respect your opinion, but I would not sound like you. And you said you had an issue with me because I gave an example. It was just an example.
Bad
I could
behavior.
have also given an example with a woman. When you're sitting on a seat like I am sitting now, it's what the Holy Spirit puts in your mouth that you bring out. I didn't come to this program unprepared. I came to this program asking the Holy Spirit to put his words in my mouth so that I can speak what he wants me to speak. And I'm sure he granted me the unction to function. It's not an argumentative thing. I am saying what he wants me to say. If he wanted me to say otherwise, you will have heard otherwise. Okay?
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Pastor. Thank you so much, Mama.
Mama, before I leave, Mama, I do understand you are here to educate and enlighten people, but also remember that the words out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. There are people, brotherhood watching, and you are a female. So when you speak, you understand. You also have to understand that some people are being triggered by what comes out of your mouth, which I was right now. But as you said, you've explained what you're saying. But I'm also here to also tell you that some of your utterances are false, and I disagree with them. And I don't support it, regardless of what the people are saying about mental health and whatever about me. I have dated somebody that has mental health, and I have faced it one-on-one. And I also remember telling people on this same platform that anybody that has any mental health problem, that they should leave that person, anxiety, depression, or whatsoever, and they find out in the marriage long run, you should leave. I also told them that women, mostly women, go into marriages pretending to be sane. Women, the moment they step into that marriage, they change completely. But before they come in, they act all submissive, all nice, all sweet, all loyal, all this and all that. But the moment they come into that marriage, they change. Men, we see it every day. Women are driven by emotion. You all know how to pretend the most. You all know how to manipulate men the most. You all know the buttons that you need to press or what to give a man to let you all in, and you manipulate that man. If I'm lying, go and check statistically. So whatever we are talking about here is still going to be gender-based to me, because it still boils down to the woman being the manipulator and being more of the abusers. Thank you, Mama.
Unbreakable now.
Yes, ma'am.
In this world, only the women are the problem, Abi.
Yes, Mama. The women are the problem.
The men are not the problem.
The men are not the problem, Mama. Honestly.
Only women get problem.
Yes, ma'am. Because I don't. The moment there are times in life where you have to be logical and think as an individual. Women are emotionally driven. You have to know when to put your emotion away and be logical about situations. You understand?
What is an emotion?
An emotion is a mental health problem, to be honest. When you're emotionally driven, you don't know what to turn it off.
So somebody will just sit down and just stand up and say, I'm emotionally driven. Yeah. Driven, it means something is driving it, Abi. So,
yes.
So what is driving it?
I have no idea what the other person's emotion is. but I know my emotion cannot drive me to want to ruin your life. Mama, for example, you know I care about you, right? And I care about your show. Now, if I let my emotion drive me to come and mess up your show or mess up your reality, how would you feel?
No, you've allowed it now. Now you have come to bed. Did I not warn you that anytime I have a guest, don't come and talk anyhow?
I did not know she was. I did not.
Oh, you did not know she was a guest. Did I not tell you? I took my time to invite the woman of God. Yeah, you're coming to come and say nonsense here. Your emotion has driven you.
I did not know she was a guest.
Oh, Mama. You did not know. Have you seen her before?
God, I did not know.
A woman of God.
I didn't know.
That are big like you. You're coming to say nonsense here.
Mama, how is it nonsense? I've only aired out my opinion.
Did I not tell you that don't come and you've let it to? After this show now, we'll talk about your life and your issues. Don't worry. I told you, hold emotions. Don't talk to guests. I told you, Shebi. I'll not say anything now first. Ma, please forgive him. He's part of the people that has this thing that I'm taking care of. So I know them. Please, I beg you, ma. Don't. Please, don't.
I do apologize.
He knows I love him.
I thought you were one of our regular hosts. I was not informed that you were a very important person here. I do apologize. I take back every word I've said. Thank you. Mama, let me go down for other people to come up.
Just be going to.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Hi. It is well.
Thank you, ma.
It is well.
Thank you.
I understand. I understand.
If he lets me go to his thing to hold him, okay.
It is well. Do you know, people like this, people like him, are actually very interesting.
Oh yeah.
I don't take offense moments like this. No. I understand where he's coming from. And you see, if you don't have him in your team, you know, he won't be engaging. It may not be as impactful as it should be, because there should be different perspectives to things. So I understand. It's fine. It's fine.
Thank you so much, ma. Officially, then I'm trying to invite you. I don't know if it's just nails that I did. I can't even press phone. I'm not used to this live, but I just have to manage it. Okay. Oh, thank God I was able to get you in. So, ma, I have a question that I wanted to react, and I'm so happy that you said something, because a lot of women think that cheating is the only big deal in marriage, and I love the way you addressed that issue. And even though the man is cheating on the wife, don't devalue the man, don't devalue him, don't take away his respect. That's a very, I don't know, I'm happy you said this live. And I'm going to make sure when they're posting the video, they post that aspect of it, because one of the things that is ruining marriages and making the woman cuss out at the man and lose it is this same thing you said. It is not enough to devalue your husband. I was shocked hearing that from you, and I do appreciate that you actually said so. Now, the next question I would like to ask, I know you soon run out. You have your life by family trends is by 9,
yes,
and you have to step out.
Yes.
So let me quickly ask this question. That thank you for being with me. How do you react to a partner that is constantly abusing your emotions and mental health? What do you do to just secure your head, that your brain don't burst?
Okay. You know, when I listen to you, right, some things come to mind. And for the benefit of someone, I would say something, then I'll answer your question. So please, when I finish what I'm going to say, you would remind me of what you want me to answer. Okay. Fine. You were talking about a cheating man, a cheating husband. Do you know that is men by nature? If you understand it, you also understand that the enemy does not like marriage being wholesome. So, men go by sight. And these days, they see a lot of things. So many women do not cover up. And men go by sight. So by the time they've seen this one and seen the other one, even the ones that do not plan to do anything, that their nature will come up. So what do you do? What do you do as a woman? That's why I said you have to remind me of the question. Hold it. Let me address this one. So what do you do as a woman when you notice that the man is going outside? You don't achieve results with confrontation. No. Rather, you achieve results with love and in love. Take a step back. Ask yourself, why is this man going out? And address it. Sometimes I tell people I am not always a wife. Sometimes I decide to be a side chick. If you know those things that the side chick will be doing for him, that draws, him to them, that attraction, start working on yourself. For example, if you're used to tying wrapper in the house all the time, no, please go to the market and buy good bomb shots. You know how he comes back and you don't care that he came back, you don't welcome him well? No. Learn how to massage his legs. Learn how to do all the things that a side chick will do. I don't want to go into details. But by the time you start confronting him, you're angry, you're shouting, you're belittling him, you lose him the more. In fact, if he was 10 miles gone, he'll be 100 miles gone. So the only way to draw back a man that is cheating is to put yourself in the position of the side chick. And then he can return. So you can still have a hold on him. So having answered this, because I didn't want it to slide, I noticed a lot of people, and some people would even go as far as going to confront the side chick. You have no business with side chick. Don't go the one that you go and they'll just go and, give you one blow, 7 apples. You don't have business with side chick. The person you have business with is your husband. So try and do those things that lured him away, that lady used to lure him away. Try to do them and lure him back. Thank you. So your question, please.
Okay, yeah. Let me just do a follow-up question. Now, if the Bible says that, okay, is there anything called a grounds for a divorce?
Okay, I'm going to answer you honestly. I tell people that if they want to divorce, it should be their personal conviction, having discussed with God. Me, I will not tell anybody to divorce. But I will tell you that if you're in marriage and your safety is at risk, then you should take some time out and move away until the man gets counseling, until such and such a time that he receives help. And help can be anything ranging from counseling to therapy to medication, depending on how extended and if diagnosed. So when you start noticing some things, because I remember one lady that her husband beat until she eme. Don't wait to eme, because then, those children that you use because of them to stay will not have other people bringing them up. Because most times you hear women say they're staying because of children. Your safety first. It's like being in an aircraft and you're carrying a baby. They tell you have to secure yourself first before you want to secure your baby. So sometimes it's better to stay away until such and such a time. If you and God in your relationship now discuss and you decide to ask for divorce, then well and good. So that is the position I want to take. Because God actually gives second chances depending on the scenario. Because I know God. I'm not one of those pastors to say God hates divorce. I'm not one of those pastors to say that, because I know that God is a good God. And you know, if you're in a relationship, God also has eyes and he's seeing everything that is happening in that relationship. So if you have a go ahead from him to dissolve the marriage and move on, let it be a personal thing between you and God.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly ask you this question. I think I will skip the other one, and hopefully if I ever get to host you again, I think we can go comprehensively on the questions. But because I know you have a few minutes to go and you're starting your life, if I'm going to ask a question, if you have an issue with your husband and the house, probably an issue that arises from, you know, misunderstanding, either infidelity or whatever, and you know, if you can't take it, and probably the man maybe moves out of the house. And the both of you, before he moved out of the house for maybe a few months, had been invited together for an occasion, probably to anchor an occasion as either the chairman and the chairlady or something. And you both meet in that occasion. Now, nobody knows what is happening. Okay, the guest handle is Ifeoma. I'm going to tag it on this on the platform. I'm going to tag Trish. I'm going to tag it when I'm putting out the videos. Okay, I'm going to tag it. And then the husband moves out of the house, and probably you now meet with the husband that you people are not in talking time zone, and he's not even living in the house. There's something that is supposed to bring the both of you together in public. You were invited in public, and you guys met together. Are you gonna pretend like everything is okay, hug the man before the people's eyes, to know that, I mean, like to feel or think or be deceived that everything is okay in that marriage? Or you are gonna maintain the energy that is existing in the marriage in public? How do you
Now,
treat your spouse in public?
out of all the questions you have asked me, to be honest, I think this one sounds like jam. This one sounds like a jam question. But you know, the question is directed at me. So I will answer it as me.
Okay.
If my husband and I have an issue, am I going to let everybody know that we have an issue? Or am I just going to pretend there is no issue? Okay, the first thing is, at the back of my mind, would I want reconciliation? Am I hoping that we'll make amends and continue the marriage? If the answer is yes, when I get to that occasion, I'm going to pretend that everything is okay. You know why? It's not good to bring third parties into a marriage, no matter how strange things are, so that you can give yourselves a breather, so you can give yourselves room to make up. You see, when third parties come into a marriage, hey, it's very difficult. I'll give you an example. When my husband right now and I newly got married, we had a misunderstanding and I shared it with someone. And then by the time the person called me and asked, what's going on right now? And I said, oh, he has apologized and we've made up. The person got angry. How do you people go and make up when you haven't given me an opportunity to discuss it with my wife so that both of us can come and talk with you? You see, that thing taught me a very big lesson. For goodness sake, he should have been excited that we settled, Abby, but he wasn't. Because so many people like to get involved in what they are not supposed to get involved in. Online and offline. Online, if you go to social media, you have online in-laws. By this time they dig and bring out things, then both of you cannot even see where to start in making amends. Then you also have offline in-laws, brothers, sisters, mothers, father. Do you know that if you go and tell your mother something about your husband now, by the time you and your husband make up, your mom will always see your husband through those lenses. It will be very difficult for her to forget. Every time she sees your husband, she's looking at him like, okay, So this is the person that went to have something with the house help. This is the person that went to have something with the neighbor. Meanwhile, you have forgiven and you have moved on. Do you understand? So it's not good to let people know what is going on, except you have tried everything humanly possible and come to the conclusion that you have irreconcilable differences.
Okay.
That is when people can come in.
Okay, what if you're not ready to leave the marriage yet, but you are, because as much as in marriage you're trying to, I'm trying to come on from this other direction. As much as you're trying to protect the spouse in marriage by closing your mouth and not letting anybody know, what if keeping it inside can actually make you run mad and your heart is pounding, your body is vibrating, and you know that the spouse we're talking about is not ready to move grounds to realizing that something is actually wrong in the marriage or settling, and you have to deal with bottling up a lot of things to the point that you know that it's good, even because of your mental health issue. We're talking about mental health now, okay? And as much as talking about mental health, I want to go from both sides, because there's some people that are like disagree or I agree. How do you manage both sides of the other, other side where the man is like, I am not ready to move grounds, I am who I am, I'm what I am. Can you voice out?
Okay, yes. You should voice out. But the very first person you should voice out to is God in prayer.
Absolutely.
There's nothing prayer cannot do. I'm telling you, I'm living proof that prayer works. That energy that you want to use and go and talk to people that you're not even sure that they have your interest at heart, go to God in prayer. Tell God to touch his heart. Talk to God, and then while you're praying, you can also talk with the person. Tell the person how their behavior is affecting you. Some people want to talk, and then, like the guy that just left here now, he said, that's how you people are always doing. Anybody that comes to Mama's program, that is how all of you are. You see, a better way of putting it is not to point fingers at the person. A better way of putting it is, this statement you have made affects me in this way, in this manner. So when you say this is how I understand it, and this is what it does to me.
Talk
When
about how you
you're
are
doing,
affected.
yes,
And don't
how I'm
attack the
affected.
person, attack
Thank you.
the situation. Like, talk about what is done. It's
What
not
is
the
done
person.
and how it affects you. Okay, so that is milder. So you can talk to the person. So he can listen, he may not listen. Now, when it becomes more, you can go a step further. If you have spiritual parents or spiritual role models, then you can now move it to that level. Or, yeah, you want to say something?
Yes, I think you've answered that. Last question. How do you think retaliation in marriage is good? Let's say you're married to a woman who talks to all her friends, or you're married to a man who you're trying to keep situations in the marriage in the home, but all his friends and everybody around has heard about you, and with the story of the man being painting you as a problem. Is it okay for you to try to recover your image by also talking to those people and say, look, here is the problem? Or you continue to keep quiet and let the people he has told believe what they believe about you? This
Okay.
one
Now
is
I'm
from
going
both
to
sides,
answer
both the
it
woman and
like
the man.
me. I'm going to answer it like me. Two people know they colo the same time. It's not nice. That's the way I see it. And even if, see, my commitment to my marriage is not hinged on how my husband behaves. My commitment to my marriage is 100%, whether he misbehaves or not.
It's good.
So I am going to be my brother's keeper. My husband is my brother, going by scriptures, and I'm going to protect him. So what I will do, like I told you, as I am praying, I'm trying to talk to him. I shouldn't be going about neighbors telling them, he said this one. Come and hear my side of the story. Let me tell you, last, if story is going to come out, everybody will know the truth somehow. Somehow, because God has a way of, standing for his children. God has a way. The battle is the Lord's, to be honest, except you don't believe what I believe in. So God has a way of helping you. You don't, most times, in fact, let me even tell you, as I'm sitting down here, I don't need human validity. As long as I am aligned with God, it's okay for me. Because you cannot convince everybody to like you. It's not possible. Ce n'est pas possible. That's French. Everybody does not have to like me, and I'm used to it. But as long as, I'm aligned to the will of God, as long as God loves me and I love him, I am fine. So I don't need to convince anybody otherwise. If you believe that I'm the bad person, my husband has told you I'm the bad person, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to try to convince you. If you go out of your way to tell stories, who told you that they are going to be convinced by listening to you? When you turn, they'll do that. I didn't see her. They'll do like I did.
You're right.
She's trying to buy favor. So see.
So you're going to treat a man that maltreats you good, regardless. Even though he's abusing you mentally, you are going to give him the energy of what the Lord is saying. Love your neighbor.
Yes. It's better for me to just give him space than for me to go and be looking for neighbors. I'm not a tale bearer. It's not of him that will let, nor of him that run above, God that showeth mercy. Your stories will not even convince people. So what are you trying to justify?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, they will still have a judgment behind it. At
the end, they will still believe what they want to believe, whether you told them anything or not.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm going to let you go because I have a program right now that's coming up. Thank you so much. And I've already seen so many men now, they are falling in love with you. You see, that's why you don't judge people too early. Just calm down. You don't just, look at her now. The women are like, okay, no. And the men are like, okay, she's now our favorite. You see, don't judge people too early. Wait, give them time. Even bad person will change later. You understand? And a good person can also change later. So, but I really thank you, Pastor Ifeoma.
Thank you.
Please just say your name again for those that can say it, but I'm going to tag it on our videos.
My name
your handle
is Pastor Mrs. Ifeoma Chigbogwu.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining me today. It was a pleasure speaking with you. I'm seeing one of my daughters here, and I see that her face is not even smiling because I've never let her talk. She talk now. You turn under those things. So
tell your people if they want to know more about me. I'm on Facebook as Family Trends.
Yes. Yeah, she's her Facebook handle is Family Trends. You can also follow them on Family Trends, and the one on Instagram, I'm going to tag it to our videos.
Yes.
Thank you, Ma. Please go have your life. God bless you, Ma. I really appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Okay.
Bye-bye.
I'm not going to stay any longer. Thanks. Okay. I'm not going to stay too longer on this platform. I'm happy that she joined. This is a virtuous woman. Thank you, Ma. Okay. Yeah, she no one does there. Thank you. Okay, I'm just reading comments. Now, please, to the men. I know she has said one or two things you're happy about, and I really appreciated her for saying that because, like, I can tell you that everybody learns. Nobody's perfect, including her, including me, including everybody on this platform. So it's beautiful. She mentioned all this, and please have this like a take home. Okay, it's a very important point you made. Most people you go tell your stories don't care at the end of the day, except you're talking to somebody who will be therapeutic. Understand that there's what I call a therapeutic communication. Let me see, I'm having some people add me. Let me accept this person. There are some therapeutic communication that you feel like you're busting out and you can trust this person's ability as either a therapy or an expert, and with your husband's agreement or the wife's agreement to discuss issues with the person in the marriage that can help you in that marriage. So that whatever you go to tell people, not be like gossip, or you just want them to tell you things to make you feel better. After feeling better, what happens? But if you know that the advice they are going to give to you is going to be godly, it's going to help you make good decisions in that marriage, it is good to discuss the issue, but not with neighbors. And when you're discussing issues, you don't discuss as a payback. You know, so many people have been in that position whereby I understand they were deeply hurt, and then they say, you know what, for this first time, me too, I'm going to hurt you back. Sure, you are going to go and tell people what you're telling them about me. I'm also going to go and tell them, or try to rebrand the image that you have put out there about me. I'm trying to accept this person here that is adding me, Prince Chigoze. I don't know, for some reasons this is not adding. I hope, I don't know what's going on, and why it's not adding. Now, in just a very few minutes, I'm going to highlight a few things before I go. We're going to be closing very soon. I'm trying to accept somebody else, but it's not accepting, and this is distracting me. Officially, let me ask you a question, right? I know she answered that question as a woman of God, but I'm going to also ask you a question. If you have issues with your husband, or how can you advise someone that have issues with your husband? The man is not living in the house, and you get to meet in an occasion or a function that you've been invited to be in before that issue. And the both of you are supposed to anchor this, this occasion. And you meet him there, you meet your husband there, or the husband meets the wife. Will you pretend before people that everything is okay in the house? Or you would act independently regarding what anybody would think? Whatever anybody would think.
Good afternoon, Mama.
Yeah, good afternoon. God bless you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
If I go there, I'll act cool. Everything is cool. If he says hi, I'll say hi, and then I'll play along.
Will you say hi first if he doesn't say hi?
If he says hi, I'll respond. If he doesn't say hi, that's fine. But I'm not going to wear a long face.
Okay. So if he doesn't say hi, will you say hi first?
I will say hi because he moved out of the house. I didn't chase him out of the house. So I don't know the mood he is at the moment. I might say hi and trigger him. So
okay, so you won't say hi because you're scared to not to trigger him, not because you're trying to maintain your energy, right?
Not like I am scared. I might say hi, I will trigger him. He might say something that will make me react in a certain way I wouldn't want to react in the public. But I'm just going to play along outside there.
No, Mama, the unable to join. Our Prince does he says you're unable to join. No, Mama, they keep. Oh, because you have to keep the energy. But you, I don't. Whatever you say is not a serious thing because you know you have problems now. So I've never asked you that kind of question because I know that you go and keep malice in public function. So I'm not. I'm not even asking you that question. Okay, let me talk. I'm trying to accept people that are adding me. I don't know what's going on. Maybe because it's almost 2 hours. How do you react to a partner that is always abusing your emotions and your mental health? How will you react to such partners?
Well, I will talk to him because sometimes people abuse you. They may not see it like they are abusing you. Initially, I may not react in a bad way. But when he calms down, I'll tell him, the way you're going about this issue is not the right way. Because if I have to react to you the way you're talking to me, it will turn out a different thing. So if I keep trying to explain things to him that this is not how to be about it, and then he keep doing it, and then it got to a point where me, I can't take it. I can still be in the same roof, but I'll keep my distance. then I'll start withdrawing. He might say something and I'll just be mute. So by the time I'm mute for a while, or I go into Cold War, and then he realized that what happened all of a sudden, this woman does not attend to me like she used to. Then he will realize that he has pushed me away. So maybe then he will borrow himself sense.
So is Cold War an advisable uh, technique
Well,
to solve disputes in marriage?
well, what works for me may not work for you. So you're asking me a question, and I'm telling you how I will personally react. It's not for everyone because I know my spouse and I know how I'm going to react to get his attention towards me, and he knows how he's going to treat me for me to get his attention. So I'm speaking for myself, not for everyone out there.
All right. I just want to thank everybody that joined me today. We had an awesome guest today, Pastor Ifeoma. I said I don't want to be passing 2 hours here. So the bad thing about this is I'm trying to accept the request that I'm seeing there, and it's not accepting any more person on this discussion. But I'm so happy that we had a very reasonable discussion today on mental health and marriage. And I told us whether you like it or not, for the next, I think next week, I'm not sure I'll bring it. I don't know if I'll bring a guest next week. Okay, please, if you're on the comment section, I want you to tell me if you want me to bring a guest next week to still discuss this topic, or you want us to discuss it like we just accept people randomly and we can't talk. So that now we need to talk professionally, because I know a guest is a professional one. I want to explore how you think, and for those of you who are married, and how you would handle these issues. Because I told you that this platform is also to learn, to experiment, and to see what is out there. Then, okay, Becca said bring a man. Come on, talk my mind. Oh, cause me, I won't talk my mind. Unbreakable say we. He wants to talk his mind. Becca say bring a man. Okay. If I see more suggestions or more votes, now we the sweet pass. Ben Flex now we the sweet pass. Because they bring a male guest to discuss it too. Okay. All right. So okay, I think what I'm gonna do is next week we're gonna talk it we. Let me even see the people we're already there. I ain't no correct. Yeah, let me see. Let's see what they want to say. So with that, I can now have a portfolio of questions that I would be asking a male guest that I'm going to bring the next time. But you see, this mental health and marriage, we go talk on for one full month, because I want men to change, just as I want women to change. And I want us to do better in our marriages. I have so many things, here, how to better protect your mental health. But I think it's time is gone now for me to start doing that lecture. So let's just meet next week and discuss this, this topic further. So thank you everybody for joining me today. Again, on the pinned message there is Transformation World Ministry. We have the topic there, and we also have our platforms on how to give and support this ministry. If you've been blessed by what we've been doing and you want to support us, please use any of the giving platforms and support it, and give generously. And as you do, God will bless you. Invite Tinubu, because him they come because him self they get mental health issue. Jesus Christ. I don't come on. Tinubu way off network for Nigeria because they do protests. Now you say I can't invite people for the, you won't make him blow my phone. Please, people should just leave Mr. President where he is. So, and this next week, when I'm done with us next week, I can assure you that I will not have friends on this platform again. So many people reject me, just like I reject so many people. Because by the time I enter the men on this mental health, people like Unbreakable that came here to come and shout, he will not shout again. I'm just looking at him. People that came here to come and shout, they will not shout again. Then when I now start with the women, so at the end of the day, maybe I'll just be lonely like Jesus was lonely, and he said his disciples should please come and sit here and keep watch over him. Because both sides will hear the bass tomorrow. We will talk till we change. And you guys should notice one thing. I'm also talking to change me, not just you people. You fix something by changing yourself, not by changing the other person. I'm going to throw more light in that. Many people has gotten mentally broken in marriage because they tried everything they could to change the spouse, not to change them. So you cannot get answers by trying to change somebody. Change yourself. I'll tell us more on how to do that. The change starts with us. In the marriage, change yourself. Leave your husband alone. Leave your wife alone. You change yourself. And you see how things will work out. God bless you. Exactly. It's both sides. Yes, it's both sides. Mama with so much wisdom. Thank you, Benfley. God bless you. Yes, both sides. I'll see you guys next week. Saturday, the same time, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. If you're in the US, I'm in Dallas, Texas. It's 1 p.m. CST. Join me. And please, I want to ask, change begins with me. Yeah, God bless you, Super Touch. Normally, you're not okay, but now I'm seeing that you're changing. God bless you for joining this platform. God bless you. So, please, there's something else I want to tell you guys to please do for me. I'm on Facebook, Francisca Emmanuel. Please go and follow me on Facebook. Share my profile for people to follow. And if you're also here, can you please share it on your stories and tell people to come, join this platform and this journey? We're doing something beautiful here. Do you know that yesterday, Dreamlight is not here today. Dreamlight drove all the way. He left Houston just to come and meet with me yesterday. So we're doing something awesome. People are coming from other states to come see me, to come meet me, and to come see our ministry. So God bless you. Share it. Let people see. They can be touched. And again, I want to say something before I go. There are other aspects of me you guys don't know. I was telling Unbreakable, I'm saying that I think this platform is causing see finisher. So at the other side of me will not go. And people will now not know that, okay, this is a woman of God, though. This is a prophet, this is a prayer warrior. They will not think, it's just this. Unbreakable say, Mama, if you do, I'm like this, don't finish us. So I beg you. No, please, don't leave this platform. I said, I'm leaving. So I can go and be doing other things, other work of God, so that we don't have misplaced, this thing. He said no. So the other side of me, another side of our ministry that is beyond this. This is just bringing the reality of what we're going through, and let's talk about it, because we don't have time. We don't do it in church. So I have to do it here. I have to explore, hear what you have to say about situations, and give my advice based on what the Bible is saying, not based on my feelings. I can tell you now, don't fight, though, because the Bible says don't fight. But me, I can go and fight. That is my feelings. So I cannot tell you fight because I fight, but I don't fight. So no, I don't fight. But what I'm saying is, we have to give godly counsel, and we have to live by those things that God is saying. If we can live by them, I tell you, we'll solve over 80% of the problems in marriages and the problems in the world. You live by them. You don't tell your neighbor you're not born again. You're a bad man. You're a bad woman. You're following women around. You're doing it. You can't cook. You can't do it. Start doing it. You live by that word. Some of us, we are so judgmental. It's about us. We got married. All of a sudden, we now know that our spouse is not good. They are sinners. Oh, we are not sinners, Abi. We are perfect. That's it. Judgmental attitude. I know there was a time in marriage and my husband was calling me Holy Mary Wednesday. I'm not Igbo, so I'm not Igbo, so I don't pronounce it very well. But one time, Daddy was calling me Holy Mary Wednesday, or Holy Mary Wednesday or something, because nothing will happen. I don't remind them saying, Pastor Ebio. You're a pastor, you're a man of God. Me, and I became Holy Mary Wednesday, other than Holy Mary Wednesday or something. Like,
Holy Mary Wednesday.
Holy what? What's that? Holy what?
Holy Mary Wednesday.
Okay, Holy Mary Wednesday, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I became the Holy Mary Wednesday. That's this that Daddy was, my husband was calling me that time, because if you just put this television now, you watch this film. Pastor, how can you watch this film? Holy Mary Wednesday. So that is what some of us are in the marriage. Okay, Wednesday. Okay, God bless you, Wednesday. Okay, Holy Mary Wednesday. What does that mean? I hope this man was not insulting me with Igbo, because I'm not Igbo. I don't know. This Igbo man, I don't know what he was saying. What's that? I hope when there's not an insult. But I can tell you that was my name that time. If you move leg like this, I say you move your leg like a sinner. If you turn like I say you turn like a sinner. If you talk, I say you talk like a sinner. So I had to start the change has started with me. I was like, okay, no, stop it now. It's not like you born again pass for this world. Stop it. So that's what some of us are dealing with in marriages. You're dealing with your spouse like they are the sinners and you are the righteous person, not knowing that you're the sinner. If you look deeply, now you even be the sinner, not them. So God bless you. We'll talk again. We'll talk again next week. And I want to pray for marriages that are suffering setback. I'm asking God to heal that marriage today in the mighty name of Jesus. That marriage that is torturing that woman or torturing the man, I ask that the mercy of God rest on that marriage and heal them in the mighty name of Jesus. I ask that the mercy of God touches the man and touches the woman to adjust their attitude or whatever they are doing to bring so much pains to the other person in that marriage in the mighty name of Jesus. I also ask that God gives you the ability and the wisdom to manage situations in your marriage, manage them godly in Jesus' name. I ask for healing for that marriage that is going through issues because they don't have a child. I'm asking that God blesses you with the fruit of the womb in that marriage in the mighty name of Jesus. For the marriage that are going through instabilities because of financial difficulties, I ask that the Lord makes a way that will bless the marriage with sufficient wealth in the mighty name of Jesus. For health reasons, the marriage that probably the man have health issues that could be erectile issues and he's not performing his job as a man. Like the woman of God here says that if a man does not perform his job as a man, he devalues himself. I'm asking that God heals that man and give him life in his generation so that he can satisfy the woman and there will be no issues again in the marriage. And for the woman too who have hormonal issues that is causing issues in the marriage, I ask that God heals her and heal every other aspect of their life that is causing deficiency in the marriage. Other aspects that is causing a deficiency in the marriage. In the mighty name of Jesus. God bless you so much for joining me. I'll see you again next week and God bless you. Bye.